Welcome to the port of Forecastle. Yeah. Very excited to be here. We have a great team, spends 365 days a year creating this, and then we're on site for 10 days building this experience. Tens of thousands of people will be coming in this weekend from pretty much every corner of the country, 49 states, 2,400 cities, up to 13 countries coming in. So it's an incredible opportunity for us to showcase everything that we have here in the great Commonwealth and everything we have in Louisville. I guess Jeffrey Lee Puckett said very brilliantly one time, it's like a backyard barbecue of 65,000 of your best friends. That being said, it's also a party for a purpose. Forecastle was founded on a foundation of environmental activism, and we're doing that more today than we ever have been. We have projects right now on 3 different continents, 6 different countries. I've raised over $400,000 right now for a lot of really critical biodiversity hotspots all over the world. So when you're walking around this weekend, just know that seen and unseen, we've engineered over 24 revenue streams throughout the site for the Forecastle Foundation. It's very important to us. We have projects right here in our backyard, starting with Future Fund and protecting Floyd's Fork, also at the Green River in central Kentucky, and last but not least, Pine Mountain and the whole Appalachian wildlife corridor that's so critically important from a migratory standpoint. For those who don't know a lot about the history of Forecastle, this festival started 17 years ago in a really small little park called Tyler Park, 3 or 4 miles that way. Then moved up to Cherokee Park and went to Melwood Arts Center before 3 years at the Riverfront Belvedere, and then finally back to Louisville Waterfront Park, where we've been for 8 years. It's been an incredible experience. The festival started with less than 60 people, has grown now to over 60,000 people, and we're expecting a record-breaking year this year, our biggest festival to date. So it's pretty impressive to not only be a festival that's been around for almost 2 decades now, but one that's continuing to grow. It's something you don't see around the country, but you see it right here. And I think a lot of it has to do with our brand and the integrity of our brand, and the fact that we continually are innovating, continually creating, continually loving what we're doing. So with that, I want to turn it over to our great mayor here, who's all about innovation and technology and everything that we're trying to do on site here to make Louisville the coolest place it can be in the world. Thank you.
All right, J.K. McKnight. So I first saw J.K.'s name when there was this little festival going on at Tyler Park called the Forecastle Festival, and so back in my heyday, I was a concert promoter, and so I was always interested in different type of events, and I said, I gotta go check this out. Well, as you all know, the history of Forecastle, that year one event was a energetic but humble event in Tyler Park with, I think we kind of keep saying more and more people came every year, but how many people do we have year one? 60. Maybe 60. So the actual number was probably like 25, but it's like who's crazy enough to create a festival and put it on in Tyler Park, and where do you think it's going to go? And so I just really always admired JK for having the gumption to do it. Any great entrepreneur gets out there and gets after it. That's the most important thing. But then to watch Forecastle grow over the years like we all have here, it's just been a beautiful, beautiful thing to see an entrepreneur, a new partner with Ashley Capps and AC Entertainment, great musicians from all over the world, great artists, great activism, come together in this truly kind of organic way that reflects who we are as a city and where we're going as a city. So I like to look at Forecastle as the default culture of our city. If you can put together creativity and great art and great music, great artistic leaders like Teddy Abrams over here, and you put it all together and you throw some activism in there, which means trying to do good things, make the world a better place, that's what our city is. And we increasingly see that. And I think the growth that you see in Forecastle every year is very emblematic of what's happening in our city as well. Obviously we're growing, we got a lot of people investing in our city, and it's in no small part to events like Forecastle. We use Forecastle as an economic development opportunity for our city, for companies that are located here to see this part of who we are. Other times companies have come in to check out what Forecastle is, so they need to know what kind of vibe they're going to be entering when they come to a city. So just really, really appreciative of what Forecastle has done for us. I love the way Forecastle has integrated local music into this stage as well. When you are an aspiring artist, you come to events like this when you have not made the big stage yet, and you dream that one day, you'll be on the stage at a place like Forecastle or Bonnaroo, and then occasionally you run into great promoters like Ashley and JK that will say, we can figure this out. And it's a way for our local musicians to get the exposure maybe that they hadn't gotten before, and for the rest of the world to see the type of world-class musical talent that we have in our city. This partnership that Forecastle has put together with Teddy Abrams, where Teddy will be curating a stage. As we've said over the years, we challenge any city, anywhere in the world, to put together a better set of musicians with music aimed toward our local scene, but heard all throughout the world with just tremendous pleasure and tremendous quality. Teddy, you've been a gift to this city, man, and the way that you bring it, whether it's at the orchestra or bringing it alive here, man, you're an amazing guy that's done some wonderful things for our city. And he's also very humble. You see, he's not very good at taking praise, but we appreciate you. So, in closing, Forecastle, very big, important part of our city. Who we are, where we're going, our tourist scene. Last year, 24 million tourist visits. Bourbonism, when you think about bourbon and local food tourism, who was the first festival to embrace bourbon as a thing? JK and Forecastle, okay? So the bourbon tent, the bourbon lodge, the programming inside of there sets the pace for what's possible. Again, focus on what we got local, nobody else has it, and it's just another amenity that we've seen here at Forecastle. So whatever you guys are doing, keep it going, all right? It's just fantastic. And you look at these two guys sitting next to each other. This is Ashley Capps over here. Ashley is the founder of AC Entertainment out of Knoxville, Tennessee, one of the most influential people in all of music worldwide. And we're just so happy that he's a partner with Forecastle and JK and put all this together and is taking us to even greater heights. So Ashley Capps, come on up here and share a few words with us. Ashley Capps.
It's glad to be able to get out of that chair, so thank you. It's always great to come back to Louisville, and wow, this year, as Mayor Fisher noted, Forecastle continues to grow. It's the biggest Forecastle ever, and if you pay attention to the news surrounding festivals, that's quite an accomplishment, especially in the current landscape, because the festival business has grown considerably over the last few years, and sometimes it seems like there's a festival popping up in every neighborhood in the country. And so we're often being asked, what sets a festival apart? Is the market saturated? What are you going to do with the future? And when I look at what's great about the festival business, and I think it's, for us, we're super bullish. We've launched 3 new ones in the last 2 years, and all of which have been sellout events. We're seeing Bonnaroo get stronger than ever, Forecastle having its best year ever. So I ask what sets those events apart, and it's a celebration of a sense of place. And I can't imagine a more fertile ground to do that than Louisville, Kentucky. And the one thing I should mention, it's not often you get to go to a community and work with a mayor who promoted Bob Marley and the Wailers. You all do know that, right? That is a mark of distinction, and I think it also helps to set Louisville apart in every way. But this year, like I say, bigger and better than ever. We've got some exciting new attractions, you might say. The Party Cove, which has grown steadily year after year after year and become one of the most popular attractions at the festival. It's a great place to go hang out with your friends and just have a really, really great social occasion. And that Party Cove has expanded under the leadership of JK's sister Mo, and this year it's going to be quite a scene over there. And now we've got rides. There's a Ferris wheel, the Sea Dragon, and it's going to be a whole little festival of its own over there in the corner. The bourbon experiences continue to expand. There's going to be all sorts of really great talks and features and special events in the Bourbon Lodge and on stage all weekend long. Hunter S. Thompson, Louisville native. We've been celebrating Hunter's legacy for a while now, and the Gonzo Bar is expanding now with the Lizard Lounge. You'll have to check that out. And then there's all things Louisville. And I think the thing that we're most excited about this year is this curation from Teddy Abrams, who, you know, the mayor's already introduced Teddy, but you know, it's so amazing for a city to have a conductor and music director of their orchestra that is has such an expansive vision and brings so many people together. And it's been exciting to work with Teddy over the last few years, and really exciting to see this you know, become a major feature of the festival this year, and I'm going to let him tell you about it. So please welcome Teddy Abrams. Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much, and I just want to acknowledge these incredible people right here, Ashley and JK, and of course, our mayor. I can't think of a better festival in a better city. And I really say that as a person that came to Louisville after living in many different places, and I have just fully embraced what it means to be a Louisvillian and what it means to be a musician here. And that means being a part of a musical community amongst many different genres and backgrounds, all of whom believe in the power of music to truly unite people, and believe in crossing all kinds of boundaries and crossing those genres to make that possible. And I've witnessed this the last 4 years that I've been in this town, and I've tried to bring that aesthetic and those values to this festival, because I think this festival is that great meeting place of people of all ages, of all backgrounds, and of all musical styles. And so this year, I mean, first of all, it's just weird enough that as a music director of an orchestra, I am standing here at a press conference for a major rock and pop music festival. If you just take a step back and think about that, that is not normal. That just does not happen anywhere else. And I think that speaks to the innovation, the forward-thinking quality, and a very Louisville quality that Forecastle totally embodies. And the idea even to bring me in as a musical participant, much less a leader in this year's planning, I think is incredibly out there, and also something that defines it. So what we've done this year is created an entire 3-day set of music that really takes you on a journey through all of the musical genres that Louisville performs on such I think, a world-class level. If there's any one thing, though, I'd love to see change, it's that I want people around the world and around the country to have that same love and that same relationship with our music scene here that we have all become lucky enough and used to hearing. And so the idea is that not only do people who already love these musicians, the local element, which is so important to Forecastle, not only do they have incredible representation on their own stage, everybody that's coming into this town from around the world, and certainly throughout the region, will have access to that music making too, and they'll get just a little taste of what we're all about in our cultural scene. It's just a taste because, again, there are hundreds of extraordinary musicians beyond the people that are on stage, but I've tried to create a representation of as many different backgrounds and genres as possible. And that means everything from the classical, there are many people in the Louisville Orchestra performing with us, to our hip-hop scene, to our jazz scene, to our fantastic folk, our indie rock, our bluegrass scenes. They're all represented here. And just as importantly, our education scene. Groups like the Louisville Leopards. You wouldn't normally see them at a major music festival, but that is something that Louisville does that no other city has. We need to put them on a national platform. And when I asked my friend Jacory Arthur to coordinate an entire set that represented hip-hop, he brilliantly came back and said, let's not just make it about hip-hop, let's bring the entire West End and all the musical energy there to the stage. And so there's this kind of through line of people that have become kind of captains of their own genres, bringing little festivals within the stage itself to hopefully give you this beautiful kind of landscape of what we are all doing here musically. So and also I should note, we didn't announce this yet officially, on the Sunday set, which is all about covers. Everybody gets to cover something. So Matt Myers from Houndmouth is covering 3 tunes, Ben Solis covering some, Jacory's covering some, we're going to cover some classical ones. I asked Mayor Fisher to cover some speeches. In other words, to choose speeches that he found very meaningful, the way I would find say, Beethoven work very meaningful, and he's going to perform that with us. So I'm so super excited that Mayor Fisher is actually going to be on the stage as a performer in this year's Forecastle, and there are lots of other surprises like that. So I just want to acknowledge again these remarkable people that have made this possible and that make this city truly great, and I'm very, very honored to be a part of it. So thank you all, and I guess I turn it back to you, Mayor Fisher. Thank you.
Eddie Abrams. Okay, you've heard it, folks. Record attendance means the product's working in a big way. More authenticity than ever before, greater bourbonism than ever before, greater partnership than ever before. Just global spotlight on Forecastle is the place to be.